Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hello, we're back. We have many questions, and we're going to answer them. We have a lot of YouTube questions on this episode from our lovely YouTube Super Chat folks from our live stream. We've also got a lot of Ko-fi questions and also some boosted Discord questions for the wonderful folks who keep our Discord server boosted. So we got boost power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being told that I thought we were almost out of questions. Strange. Oh, we will never be out of questions. The questions the questions continue. Much like Starline's Isekai adventures, the questions continue and will never end.
We could lose every single bit of patronage tomorrow, and we would still have 3 years worth of material easy.
I mean, that's being conservative. We could keep going. It was the first time for a long time. We could keep going. Yeah, but I know some of you will never stop sending questions. I think it's impossible for you to, actually. Some of you have so many questions. Anyway, are we ready to jump into it, Ian?
My body is ready.
Yeah, but is your mind?
Oh, never. That thing is a cesspool.
No, okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense. Let's get into this first question here from OzJam. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles decide to mix their favorite foods to create the minty grape-flavored chili dog abomination. How does it go? This
is a Boom episode.
I mean,
I know that's low-hanging fruit, but it's a Boom episode.
I'm really surprised it never happened. This is like, yeah.
And I imagine, so it starts off with the three of them saying what their favorite foods are, arguing over whose is the best, and then somebody has the bright idea that if they combine them, it would truly be the best food ever. And so they go off into the kitchen. I guess it would have to be Tails' kitchen. And they concoct this thing, and it's kind of like this radiant glow off screen. And they're like, And then for the rest of the episode, they're trying to convince everyone that they totally made the best thing ever. You should totally try it. Well, there's no bite marks in it. It clearly hasn't been touched yet. How do you know if it... No, trust us. It's great. And it's all of them trying to con people into touching this abomination that is clearly inedible. It's just horrendous. But they don't want to admit that they have created something horrible. They have to save face. And eventually Eggman shows up to invade, and so they offer, a truce. Here, the greatest food ever created, just to make you go away. And so he takes it, and he has a bite, and he... It's so delicious, I totally wasn't tricked into eating the worst thing ever. I actually did take the greatest food ever created, and I'm going to savor it at home, where no one can see it. And he flies off, and they're like, wait, was it actually good? Did we actually create the greatest thing? Well, now we don't know.
Uh-oh.
We gotta get it back. To be continued in part 2.
To be continued. I dig it. That's funny. Please keep pitching Boom episodes to us. I mean, what else are we supposed to do with our lives?
Isekai Adventures, apparently.
Isekai Adventures and the Boom episodes. Those are our best things. Maybe we'll get a new season of Boom someday, at least. And then we can cross them over. And Starline's Isekai into Boom. We've already done that one, though. That one's too easy.
Yeah.
Here's a question from Chaos Sonic 1. Since we've been asking you a lot of crossovers, what crossover would you both want? It can range from silly or something you both know absolutely well.
I know we've tried on this I know we've done this something like this in the past because Sonic and Mario, obviously,
crossovers,
not the Olympic Games.
Yeah. Crossovers are dangerous though. Like you it might be like a case of be careful what you wish for.
Mm.
Yeah. Because for every Worlds Collide, you get really not good crossovers otherwise.
I don't know. Toss a Master Chief into the Doom universe might be kind of fun.
Well, I mean, I think Doom guy and Halo Man are like the same guy, but don't tell anybody else that.
There's nuance. Although unleashing Doom Guy, the Doom Slayer, on high charity would be, I'd pay money to see that.
2 green shooty men.
Arbiter, what did the demon say? He said, "Rip and tear until the job is done."
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I want to see a Sonic and Mega Man game.
Yeah, I still don't know how that would work.
I don't know how you would do it, but you could do it. Someone could do it. Someone figure it out. Sonic and Mario you could do, but I think I would prefer Sonic and Mega Man as a game. That'd be way cooler.
The rumor that was going around years ago of a Metroid Star Fox crossover was just weird enough to make me wonder if it could work.
Good.
Like, as a slightly grittier, nastier Star Fox, maybe? Like, aperoids that are legitimately threatening and not just polygons that you shoot, that you have to invent reasons to be afraid of them. I wouldn't want to brighten up Samus. You don't want her. I mean, the thing with Metroid is it is a very vibrant and colorful world. It's just the way it's portrayed is very oppressive and lonely.
It is also a little goofy, though. I don't think I don't think Star Fox as it is would be horrendously out of place.
No, but there is a brightness and a big focus on camaraderie, which is in stark contrast to Samus being alone.
Right.
Like, even in Dread, when you find the kiosks and Adam talks to you, it's like, oh, finally, someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Like, it was a moment of relief, which I thought was well executed.
Yeah, but
the fact that they gave him that
contrast
voice makes it not fully.
Yeah. That contrast, though, is kind of something you could play with. I think that's something you could work with. So, yeah, a Star Fox Metroid crossover could be fun. I mean, it's not like there would be rights issues necessarily, just Nintendo issues. You know how they are. Any others? Any other thoughts?
Super Punch Out and ARMS. Just so everyone is freaking terrified as Little Mac just weaves between those big springy arms and gets in their face and just...
Why isn't Little Mac a character in ARMS? It literally doesn't make any sense.
Well, because ARMS is all about the distance fighting, and Little Mac is all about getting up there and wrecking you.
I know what it's about, but yeah, he should be in there. Like, it's just like this is his chance to shine. He doesn't need arms. He just needs to connect with your face. Oh well. Let's move on to the next question. This one's from Dove. Knights visits Cream, Tangle, and Blaze in their dreams. What happens in each dream?
Lots of flying for Cream. She never gets tired. She can just fly as much as she wants, and she gets to look after all the Nighttopians, and it's just a pleasant little jaunt out. Tangle can freely slingshot in any direction because gravity is kind of subjective, and she's just having a grand old time.
Yeah, she's freaking
Knights
out.
is like, you could just fly if you wanted. She's like, nah, it's more fun this way. She's running into Nighttopians and apologizing as she goes bouncing off of various objects. And Blaze wants to understand this realm because she has heard of this realm from Sonic, and she wants to fully comprehend what's going on, assess its threats, be ready for whatever nightmarish creatures come out. Knights is like, no, this is a dream. It's a nice dream. I've made sure it's a nice dream. You can just relax. 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 She's heard of this word. She knows of the concept, but actually exercising it.
I do not understand. She's immediately suspicious of anyone who says relax.
She's like, look, we can go fly around. And she's like, I really don't do heights. And he's like, oh, well, we can just stay on the ground if you like.
We can just hang out. We can just be there. It's
Finally,
funny though.
He just invites one of the nightmares in just so Blaze can have an evil to vanquish, and then she feels accomplished and goes home.
It is very funny though that she doesn't do heights, but she can fly.
It's more of a glide, but yeah.
It's heights, dude. It doesn't matter.
I know.
She flies like Knuckles flies, like, which depends on the writer.
Knuckles glides.
Yeah, he glides. Sometimes he glides upwards. Sometimes he glides downwards.
If there's an updraft.
I guess. Whatever. Silly distinction. It's barely even a distinction. Here's a question from El Technopada. Sonic versus Elon Musk. How would that go?
It never actually happens because Elon's like, well, let's change the venue. Oh, wait, no, I need to have my neck cat scanned. I mean, x-rayed. I might need surgery. You know what? I don't even need to prove anything. I'm a manlier man. And Sonic's like, who is this?
I figured it would just never happen because Elon's giant robots keep exploding before he can even finish them. I mean, I'm just saying. Here's a question from Fang. Starline's Isekai Adventures continues. This time, ending up in Devil Artemis's Perfect Cell Versus videos. What kind of hijinks ensue, and how does the good doctor get turned into a plushie?
Well, going by my limited understanding of the format, Starline would be very confused to be in the square circle. Kermit does the introductions. Cell is not particularly impressed by Starline. Starline is insulted that he is not being, feared and revered, regardless of the circumstances. Rattles off all the incredible abilities and technology that he has at his disposal, and Cell's like, oh, so you actually are an opponent, and nukes him on the spot.
Well, that didn't last long.
Well, they're only like 2 minutes.
Good point. Here's a question from Fenriraga. One of my mini gripes with Shadow the Hedgehog, the game, is how there isn't an ending that lets you side with Eggman, despite him being a faction. Do you have any idea why the writers might have avoided giving Eggman a win? How would you handle him joining the Eggman Empire?
That is a good point. Because it's not like it's a matter of, we don't want him joining a villainous side, because that's the entire dark route. You joined the most villainous of villains. Or you conquer the most villainous of villains. It's not really a moral objection. So, yeah, why don't you have him join Eggman? Like, even on the neutral path, why don't you just take the dark ending and say, okay, fine, I will be the Grand Commander of the Shadow Androids? I don't know. It is an interesting choice. I have no idea how or why they went that direction back in the day. That was well before my time, but it is an interesting distinction. But at most, one of the routes he takes, I can't remember now if it's the hero neutral or if it's the dark neutral, where he declares that he'll take command of the Shadow Androids and conquer the world as like their king. I go that general direction. He becomes Android Prime, the hero of his carbon copy army, and right hand to Eggman's will.
Apparently that is the full neutral ending.
Full neutral? Okay.
Yes. I do like that. Dark neutral, aka the dork ending. Just kidding. They're all pretty dorky.
I don't know. Fighting a 2-on-1 battle with Sonic and the Commander and the Diablon is kind of a cash idea.
Okay, fine.
I mean, you step on Sonic's face to attack a Gundam in its face. That come on, man. That's pretty cool.
Good. Sonic deserves to be stepped on. Here's one from Geo Knuckles. From Demon Slayer, Mitsuri is pink-haired, crazy strong, and uses a sword whip she swings like a ribbon. How would her meeting with Knuckles go?
It would go well overall. I mean, she's a very personable and gregarious individual, and Knuckles is not, but I'm sure she could win him over. And then when whatever inevitable antagonistic force appears and she dices it up with a flourish and such grace, he'd be like, hey, ain't but too bad. And then she demonstrates her ludicrous anime strength, and he's like, you want to be sparring partners? And then they become BFFs.
Nice. Here's a question from Happy Times. The latest issue with Sonic taking Blaze sightseeing through Spagonia gave me an idea. If Sonic were to plan trips for his other friends to locations from Unleashed, where would he take each one to? Bonus points if you can use each location at least once.
I keep coming back to Spagonia because it is such a prominent and reused location. And I don't know whether to give that to Amy or Tails for the sheer... I mean, Amy would be there for the kind of socializing, the gregariousness of it. And Tails would be there for the higher learning with like Spagonia University. So maybe we'll take Tails to Spagonia for a tour of Spagonia U. I mean, he already knows Professor Pickle. You know, tour the halls, catch up with some other alums. And Amy can go to Empire City for like the shopping and the art and all the social life and meeting all those folks. Maybe Knuckles to Shamar for all the old world relics and architecture. He seems to like that sort of thing. Get his little archaeology thing going on.
I'm into it. Just sticking with those three.
Yeah, if we go through all of Sonic's friends, we'll be here all day.
Just the base three. Yeah.
I mean, if anything, you take Big to Autobot and let him go. Say, you know, here's the ocean, go fish, and he's good.
Fishing. All right, we got a question from Reckons. Starline's Isekai adventures continue in Skies of Arcadia. We'll throw him a bone and says he starts.
See what you did there.
We'll throw him a bone and say he starts in Valua right as the game begins. Is he on Team Galcian or Empress Theodora? Do the Rains of Destruction spell his end, or are giant rocks falling from the sky too on the nose? Ooh. 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 Too soon?
He would start off with Empress Theodora because she is the clear, head of state, but he would clue in real fast that she's not the real seat of power, that Galcian is the one pulling the strings, and he's just going to, stand a little closer to that one, chat him up, and see what his grand aspirations are. Yes, okay. And Galcian is, a little weirded out by this talking duck man, but he'll work with random Sylvite. Sure, he'll work with this thing. And just to vary it up a bit, I could almost see him taking Deloco's place as they go into the deep sky. Getting a little too big for his britches, thinking the Chameleon's tech is enough to handle them in the deep down, deep dark. And once the armor starts to implode, we got a new plushie.
Going back a little bit, I just have to add a chuckle at you almost saying ducking talk man.
I mean, he is that too.
Yes. You almost said that. It was like, oh, he didn't go for it. He caught himself. Darn. I'll just have to bring it up. Speaking of bring it up, we're bringing up the this first half of the episode with a question from Hero Squad. What's the name for Eggman's maid robots from SA1?
I don't know off the top of my head. Just off the top of if I were to use it in a script, I would say Eggmaid from SA1. But if there's an official designation, I do not know it. Maybe that's something I should hunt down. I freaking love the Eggmaids. They're great.
Bring them back.
They're just fantastic.
Bring them back, Ian. Do it. Bring back the Eggmaids. More Eggmaids, please. All right, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more BumbleKast.
This episode, we have a sponsored ad from our good buddy Daniel H. He says, "Good day to you all. I'd like to take a moment to boost a friend of mine, Miss Jordan Worth Cobb, an aspiring filmmaker and fellow nerd. She's been through a lot here in the natural state. It's not exactly been safe here for transgender people like herself, but she's got a promising job opportunity that could change things. She could use some cash moving and securing a place to live. If you have the time, please click on the link below, which we will have in the description below, to read up on her story and maybe send a coin or two her way. And if you would, please spread the word. Thank you for your time. Be well. You can find that at gofund.me/289-42670.
We're back, and we have a question from Noni. Hey, is there a name for whatever the hell species Rystar is? Are they just stars? I know there hasn't been a game in ages, but they do show up from time to time in Sega things that aren't games, i.e. the Sega Sammy athletic team.
I'd have to go back and look. I think it was specified that he was a wishing star, that he was meant to grant the wishes of those in need, but I am not certain on that.
Such a great game, though.
Or was he said to be a shooting star because he does the whole sling around and zoom? I don't know. I'd have to do a deep dive research on that.
Yeah, I think he is a shooting star. That's what I'm seeing, as far as I can tell. At least according to according to a few different sources, it looks like he might be a shooting star. Rystar, the shooting star.
His title? Is that like his title, or is that his species? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure. In Japan, the game is called Rystar, the shooting star. So maybe it's like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Maybe.
Don't you know you're a shooting star? Anyway. Here's one from Nate R. Can Shadow the Hedgehog beat the gay allegations?
Never.
They're not allegations.
So long as there is thirst in this world, there will be allegations on all sorts of characters about all sorts of things.
I don't know. Can he? I don't know. Anyway, the gay observations. Yes, we'll never beat those. They're just there. You just observe them. They're right there.
I guess truth is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah. Here's a question from Quezzle J. How would you handle Base and Wily's relationship?
I'm so rusty on this. I think it would evolve over time. Just going off of memory, it would start off as Base being his willful enforcer, his premier robot. Base's personality when he first appears is starkly different that one comes after.
Yeah.
But part of that is him putting on an act, and he's into the act, at least initially, because he hasn't had time to develop the rivalry or the chip on his shoulder. But then after he gets beaten, he doesn't want to put on the act anymore. He wants to go beat Mega Man. He's the strongest robot. Dad, why are you telling him what to do? And from there, he would just be like the surly preteen son, and Wily, the aloof dad who has no idea how to handle his kid.
Yeah.
It would be the antithesis of the wholesome father-son dynamic that Light and Rock have. It would just be, them always picking at each other, but they stick together because that's who they have.
Yeah.
And going any other direction is a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that tracks.
What would be the most interesting / difficult thing to go off of is Duo's got a line somewhere where he states that Base has some heroism in him. So does Base get a full redemption arc? Does he go, anti-hero? And how does that affect Wily? I don't know.
He's the classic Mega Man equivalent of Shadow.
Oh, yeah, well.
Am I wrong? I maybe wish I was, but I don't think I'm quite as wrong as I wish I was.
Look, just because he's like the dark antithesis with the black color scheme and big swoopy things on his head and weird lines on his face and
he thinks he's super cool. He thinks he's so awesome. And he's got this dark broodiness.
Created by a bald mustachioed man.
Yes. That's you. I agree.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Scurvy Pirate Hog has a question. If only male hedgehogs can go super, can only female cats go burning? Burning honey? I brought this up before, Scurvy, stealing my jokes, my questions, my things, stealing things out of my head and giving us money to put them in my mouth. I don't know what that was.
I think the burning transformation is more up to the will of the soul emeralds, but burning honey would be really cool.
I think they just call that caramel.
What did we say that she would transform into her alternate outfit colors?
Yeah. The yellow.
Okay.
The yellow. Would that be hot honey? Very hot. Here's one from Spoiler 1001. If you had to write something about Tails' biological parents being alive in the IDW comics, how would you write it regarding Sonic and that familial relationship?
Depends on what the parents are going to do. Are they going to stick around, or are they going to be temporary? If they're temporary, are they just passing through for virtuous reasons, for negligent reasons? Do we kill them off? How are they? What dynamic are they playing? What is the long-term goal with this? Because that will inform how the interaction is played. Central to it is the found family that is Sonic and Tails, and depending on how the parents are to be portrayed and utilized, is this a test of the found family? Do they reject Sonic? Do they challenge Sonic's part in Tails' life? Does Tails feel like he owes them anything? Does he know where they have been? Or is this a mystery? Like, how is Tails taking this? Is he being reunited? Is he finding them for the first time? Is he overjoyed? Is he bitter by it? Are they returning it because they want him back? Or are they returning because it's a con job, kind of Adventures of style? There's a myriad of different ways to approach it. So I don't know, ultimately. It would be what we are doing with these characters and how it's supposed to play out that would be a major influence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess this could be a redemption for House of Cards, though. Something like that. A little less.
Amadeus and Rosemary came with a freight train's worth of baggage.
Exactly. I was gonna say just revisit the same concept, but different approach or something like that.
Also, you have a very different Tails in this context.
Yeah.
Archie Tails was raised by the freedom fighters, raised by the village, and was still dealing with a degree of his own immaturity in finding his place. Whereas as of Frontiers, Tails has a pretty clear direction for himself and a certain degree of self-confidence.
Yeah.
Like, Tails knows what he can do. It's just within the context of Sonic that he has issues. So it would be a whole new construction.
Yeah. A different approach. Yeah. I think it would be kind of interesting, though. Something to play with, but I mean, we'll never see it happen, but maybe if in the future, maybe Sega changes their mind and lets parents exist again outside of Vanilla. And Jet's dad.
And Eggman.
Good point.
And Gerald.
No, Gerald is dead.
That's true.
Now. He wasn't dead a while ago, though. Here's one from Supersonic Fan. What's Mark the Tapir like on Moebius?
Clearly, he Scourge's murderous stalker and competes with Rosie.
I figured he'd hate Scourge in that timeline.
Yeah.
Hate him so much that he wants to kill him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That track. Okay. That's yeah.
Rosie's more of an actual problem, though, because Mark doesn't go outside.
Well. Going outside is overrated. Here's one from TOZ Online. You can write a Mario and Sonic comic, and the only catch is you can use Peach only. how would you go about it? How would she interact with the main cast? I think this would be actually pretty fun. Peach is fun. Peach is a fun character. You can have a good time with her.
Yeah. Maybe steal a page out of Sonic 06 and Eggman kidnaps her because it's an interdimensional princess. She's got to have some kind of extraordinary power.
It's just what happens to her.
And then while he's trying to figure out, what strange mushroom magic she must have, and contending with Sonic and the gang, going, well, she's a visitor to our dimension. We kind of need to help, can't leave her hanging. She's already busted out on her end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's having a very civil conversation with Sage and convincing her to unlock doors and let her out. And then, Orbot and Cubot pop up and they're like, sorry, miss, we can't let you leave. And she just kind of Goomba stomps them on her way out.
That is pretty funny. Goomba stomp.
And so you have Sonic and company fighting with Eggman. And, oh, wait, no, Peach is already out. Okay, day saved. Let's go home. Eggman goes to recapture, and Sage pops up and says, Father, no, she is my friend. Please let her go.
Uh-oh.
Eggman gets all flustered. But the plan, dimension, princess, magic. Oh, fine. She can go.
Why did I make myself my own daughter? And why does she have morality? Why is she like this? Fun stuff. All right, we got a question from True Cosmic Digilab 79. So, Ian, how do you like the new update in Genshin?
Better than I expected, to be perfectly honest. I was not looking forward to Fontaine. Just nothing against it, particularly. Just after everything in Sumeru, Fontaine just looked kind of blah in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
But the swimming mechanic, the underwater exploration, is just phenomenal. It feels so natural. And I am not big on underwater gaming. Like,
yeah.
Endless Ocean, Subnautica, not a good time. Yes, Endless Ocean gave me the Ghiblies, okay? That's how bad I am with the Deep Down, Deep Dark.
That's not even a scary game.
No, it is absolutely not. It is one of the most comfiest, gentlest, handholdiest things. But descending into the depths,
it's a gorgeous
I had to mute
game.
the TV. I couldn't handle it.
Really?
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. But yeah, I had trouble with Endless Ocean and Subnautica. I barely got, maybe a quarter of the way through the game.
Yes. If you're watching this on YouTube and you go comb through the BumbleKast archives, you can see some of the silliness that Ian got up to in Subnautica.
I got as far as like the first mini sub, and when the headlights couldn't penetrate the darkness, and it's like, oh yeah, go another 900 meters down. It's like, no, you can't make me. I'm done. I back out. So the fact that the 4.0 Fontaine update doesn't trigger any of that is wonderfully refreshing. All the spaces feel open and whimsical and colorful and welcoming. Even the parts that are not like that welcoming themselves, like shipwrecks and really deep descents, they don't get my hackles up. And I like that. I appreciate that a lot. Music is standout, amazing as always. And none of my expectations with the main story and characters have been remotely on the ball. Especially with Nouvellette. Like, I was expecting him to be the grim, hard ass that is kind of your subtle antagonist for the arc. And really, when you get down to it, he's Hydro Zhongli, and you had me at Zhongli. So, also, potential spoilers, but this is really just theory crafting. He is totally the elemental Hydro Dragon Reborn. You cannot convince me otherwise. So, if you haven't picked it up yet, it is a beefy update. It makes your hard drive cry, but it's been fun. I haven't been able to look around too much, but I did get through the main quest line, and it's fun. It doesn't grab me as much as Sumeru did, but it's been a pleasant surprise overall.
Cool. All right.
Oh, And I would be remiss without mentioning there's a subplot with a couple of characters who go by the White Glove and the Fisherman. And they are absolutely a couple of characters I would write, only better.
You would write them better? Is that what you mean?
No. As in, they are a type of dynamic I would totally write, but it is written well more than I would.
Okay. It's written better than
I'm
you
reading.
could. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just to clarify for the people at home.
The way that the interaction and the dialogue is written and the fact that Paimon is missing the forest for all of the trees is just like, oh, this is good stuff. This is better than the mainline quest.
All right, let's move on. We got this question from Twilord. Expanding on the idea of bringing back Eclipse in a timeline where Herald the Death Spawn is in play, would the combination of being mellowed out through fatherhood and potentially having finally experienced an upside to the Black Arm psychic bond affect Shadow's feelings towards Eclipse?
No, absolutely not. He cannot come to the Christmas party.
No.
He is only acknowledged in the Christmas card, so Herald will stop asking questions. They avoid him in the grocery store. No, they do not make eye contact with him.
Him.
Harold's in the little buggy seat of the grocery cart. No, we're not talking to him. Since when was he the fun uncle? That's when a clip slides in. You can just call me Funkle. I will do no such thing.
Oh, you beat me to it. You beat me to it. Oh, you beat me to it. White Ninja has a question. So now that the Superstars trailer with an updated Tails robot design has been shown, can that robot appear in IDW, or is he off limits?
TBD. Plus, there's so much already in production with IDW, there isn't room for him right now. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Bring back the robots. Or bring them in the first time. Maybe. Time to put the time to return to Scrapnik Island. And our last question on this episode comes to us from Zach D. How would a meeting between the IDW Sonic Cast and the Fleetway Sonic the Comic Cast go? How long would it be before Knuckles tries to punch Fleetway Sonic's head off? I'm going to say like negative 0.00002 nanoseconds.
I imagine it'd be fairly amicable overall. It's been so long since I've touched on Fleetway. It's kind of hard to remember exactly how the dynamics worked out. But
I want to see Fleetway Amy and Modern Amy just go ham on everything.
Oh, sure.
Be awesome.
Lanolin's like, can you stay, please? I will even bypass the paperwork, and that's me saying that.
Oh, boy.
Having Porker hang out with, incredibly positive energy uplifting IDW Sonic would be interesting. Getting Tails and Techno to chat would be neat, or maybe even Techno taking a look at the variable Wispawn. That could be a fun interaction. You got the Jedi ghosts of Johnny Lightfoot and Starline on the sideline, wishing they could contribute.
Well, that's just silly.
And Surge finds a Sonic that she hates even more than the main line.
Well, I mean, would she hate Scourge more than Sonic, or no?
We're talking a completely different. I'm just talking Fleetway Sonic.
Right. I'm just
someone who isn't.
I'm just thinking of like different Sonics, like Surge's feelings on different Sonics.
She's gonna hate them all.
Well, yeah,
to some degree or another.
I mean, same, but still.
It's just Fleetway Sonic is all the bad traits that she sees inherently in Sonic just on display unapologetically.
Yeah.
So she's vindicated.
Yeah. She might like Fleetway Supersonic.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But then she'd be pissed that she doesn't get to turn into a golden god of destruction. Why does he get to do it? You know, why is it always the jerks who get everything?
Rude. How dare they? Surge just needs to figure out how to go super, or whatever power up form she can get her hands on. She needs it. Do it, Ian. Do it.
Well, that's going to wrap up this episode of the BumbleKast. But before we go, it's the end of the month. So you know what that means. It's time to give a big thank you to all our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members who make this show possible. Big thank you to, Daniel H., Jennifer R., John B., Robotnik Home, Sam Cybercat, Samuel P., Torchbound, Andrew D., Mike B., Salucha Cat, Dave M., Noni, J. Frost, Coupling Crew 128, Hero of Light 13, Do As Diz Din, Professor Scruffy Matt, Miss Match Moogle, Chris A., Scurvy Pirate Hog, Sony, Arc Fighter, Ben Wolfsbane, Twilord, Chaos Sonic 1, John M., Triforce Riku, Sonic, Ink Thinks, Jib, Lisa M., Lee HK, Chevelle, Tic Tac, Mexiker 17, Axis, Starlight Sec, Joshua S., Z Broadcast, Jolene B., Cameron H., The Disgain, Jonathan D., Solaire Stain, Godzilla, Nondel, Hannah W., Venus, Jade the Man, Ava Arctic, Dove, Dominic the Raccoon, Just a Mountain Soul, Alex KR, Yuma221, Jennifer H., Justin S., Angela V., Alpha Monor Yukon, Jack the Animator, Dadler the Dalek, Indabin, Sonic Legacy, Wildcard 717, Tetchy Otherwise, Les, Sandra BH, Of the Stars, Thievius, Daniel B., Red the Superdynamic, Gencel Chad, and Tails, Morris, Puppy the Scholar, Chaos Researcher, Sammy S., Rocco D., E200 Paragon, Miles the Prower, Navarre, Exidal, Agent Cats, The Marble Gardener, Four Sonic Fan, Rhythm and Tempo, Hearts 13, Pig Dan, Derucival, Ozjam, Shimmy M., Curly Quills, Preston M., Smiley 21, Noah M., Philip is Cold, Awesome Cakester, Kujiro, Highwind, Sterling Sonic, Super Sonic Fan, Congo, Windskull, Supernova, Superior Pizza, Sonic Patch, Ty H., Red Chase L., Thick Off, Planet Breezy, Omega Man 21, Sonic 84, Nils Jara, Levi C., Unity, Jason G., Subliminal, Amazing SB, The ID Card, Jonathan F., Samus S., In Zephyr, Icy Wolf, Adrian W., Gino the Puppet, Knuckles Sandwich 87, Mickey Sawdust, Glitchiest, Vlad, Fang, Lemur Chicken, Cool Christy 1, Alejandro 333777, Loose, Michael P., Will, Trocon H., The Phantomist, OK Cheese Stick, William M., Icon PNG, _ Turtle Tuck, Silver Moon 21, Pit Viper, and North Salt 15. Followed by Relaxed Hoodie, Lacey M., All Peachy, Lucky Lychee, Angel Fox Kitsune, Zeto V, KZ, or Kazi, one of those.
It's Kazi.
Sweedemo. All right, then Kazi. Chunka S.A., Gideon W., Boy King Elias, Native Nerd 27, Ultra Guy, Noob 600, Crabo, Sonic Manu 2099, Hadronis, Rose Volley, Novo Meline, Pele, Shinobi Raccoon. That's the wrong thing. Raccoon Shinobi, Normal Person, Marcy H., Kazo, Mr. Murderbird, The Giant Murdering Bird, Zex, Soul Dice, Gianna S., Snow Pear, Cat Van Bryan, The Madam Multimedia, Foofy93, Mrs. Nippy, Florian, Call Me Ryan, Sebastian P., Onion Girl, Candy B., Trevor, Big Mama, DDR Master M., Michael D., Jamal S., Wheels 282 Hedgehog, Metamode, Frost the Hobbidon, Danny the Light, Buttered Noodles, Miles Power D., and El Technopada, along with True Cosmic Digilab 79, Travis H., Hero Squad, Ben Raven, Woods, Quentin D., Hedge, Supersonic Bros, Geo Knuckles, Finest Cacophony, MK, Scourge Time, Hattok, Joestar B, SSB, Sonic Badge, Ursi Bear, Zetimax, Mini Hats, Ricans, Sprites Forever, Spoiler 1001, Finn Riaga, Nate R, Quazzle J, and for realsies, finally, Zach D.
Are you sure that's the last one? Are you sure?
That is 224 wonderfully supportive people. Thank you so much for causing my lungs to collapse.
Outstanding. You didn't need those, did you? Oh, he's dead now. Look what you've done, people. Do it again. Keep doing more. We need more names. Okay, cool. You don't need lungs to write.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Take care, everybody. And then they have the bunny skin, the rabbit skin. Sonic skinned a rabbit and is wearing it around. Gross. I don't know, man. I don't know any of these things. You people are talking nonsense as far as I'm concerned. I'm kidding. Well, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know about the nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense in Sonic. I think that's kind of the point of it, actually. So, in some cases. Anyway, you ready to read these names? Come on, Ian, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's take a nap.
Kylie, let's go party. All right.
You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
It's Case says, consider increasing the thank you tier on Patreon. Why?
No.
I refuse.
No, I am steadfastly, this is legit. I steadfastly want to thank everyone who makes this show possible, because the fact that this has become a bill-paying gig is insane. And I honestly and truly and sincerely and deeply appreciate the folks that have, contributed at all, and the ones that have been with us for so long. Like, it's mind-boggling that this is actually a job for us.
It's absolutely.
And I am eternally grateful for that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is my main source of income. So that's kind of mind-blowing that this is pretty much it. This is it. We are we've reached the apex, Ian. We're going to take our 2,500 views of video and go to town. I don't know what town, but we're going to go.